Phonetics and sounds. Ta has over 100 phonemes, including around 80 different click sounds. The Xhosa language, spoken in South Africa, is famous for its clicking sounds, made by the tongue. Ubik, a now extinct language, had the most consonants of any known language, around 80, but only 2 vowels. In Hmong, a language spoken in Southeast Asia, whistling can be used to communicate entire phrases. The Silbo-Gomero language, used in the Canary Islands, is entirely whistled and can carry messages across valleys. Grammar and structure. Piraha, spoken in the Amazon, has no fixed words for numbers or colors. Inuktitut, spoken by Inuit communities, is polysynthetic, meaning a single word can express an entire sentence. Tuyuka, spoken in the Amazon, requires speakers to add endings to verbs that show how they know something, evidentiality. Gugu Yimithia, spoken in Australia, has no words for left or right, only cardinal directions like north and south. Aymara, spoken in South America, sees time backward. Future is behind you, and the past is in front. Writing systems and alphabets. The Rotokas language, spoken in Papua New Guinea, has the world's smallest alphabet, with only 12 letters. Khmer, spoken in Cambodia, has the longest alphabet in the world, with 74 characters. Chinese has no alphabet, instead using thousands of logographic characters. The Cherokee writing system was invented in the 19th century by a single person, Sequoyah. Hangul, the Korean alphabet, was scientifically designed to mimic mouth shapes when pronouncing sounds, unusual words and concepts. The word Mamihlapinatapai in Yagan, a language of Tierra del Fuego, describes a look between two people who both want something, but neither will initiate it. There's no word for blue in ancient Greek. It was often described using words like dark or wine-colored. The Japanese word tsundoku refers to the habit of buying books and never reading them. The German word kummerspeck means grief bacon, referring to emotional eating weight gain. In Hawaiian, hanahu means do it again, commonly used at concerts for encores. Languages with unique number systems. The Piraha people do not count beyond 1 and 2. Anything more is just many. The Oksapmin language, spoken in Papua New Guinea, uses a number system based on body parts, counting from fingers to shoulders. The Mayan number system used base 20 instead of base 10. Chinese has a special hand counting system, where each number from 1 to 10 has a unique hand sign. In Welsh, 15 is called pimtheg, meaning 510, showing its old vigesimal base 20 system. Dying and extinct languages. Latin is not dead. It's still the official language of Vatican City. Only about 50 speakers remain of Livonian, a language once spoken in Latvia. A new language, Light Walpiri, emerged in Australia within the last 40 years, blending English, Walpiri, and Creole. The last fluent speaker of Ayak, a language from Alaska, died in 2008, but efforts are being made to revive it. UNESCO estimates that one language dies every 2 weeks. Unusual dialects and language phenomena. The Pennsylvania Dutch language is actually a form of German, not Dutch. Icelandic has barely changed since the Viking Age, meaning modern Icelanders can still read medieval sagas. Some Australian Aboriginal languages have separate speech styles for talking to elders. In Finnish, there's no separate word for he or she. Both are just han. The Basque language, Euskara, is unrelated to any other language in Europe. Strange language evolution. English has borrowed words from over 350 languages. The word robot comes from Czech, meaning forced labor. French used to have an official way of saying computer, ordinateur, but people just use computer now. Fascinating language oddities. In Navajo, there's no word for hello. The traditional greeting means, "It is good." Tagalog has a word, gigil, for the urge to pinch something cute. Some languages, like Lojban, were created specifically to remove all ambiguity from speech. Esperanto, a constructed language, was designed to be easy to learn and unite people globally. Some languages, like Ithkil, are intentionally designed to be as complex as possible. French numbers include remnants of base 20 counting, like 80, 80, literally 4 20s. The Yoruba language uses a subtractive counting system, where 45 is said as 5 from 50. Ancient Romans had no symbol for zero. Binary code, used in computers, is a base 2 language. Some Amazonian tribes count only to 3, with any higher number just meaning many. Dying and extinct languages. Latin is not dead. It's still the official language of Vatican City. Only about 50 speakers remain of Livonian, a language once spoken in Latvia. A new language, Light Walpiri, emerged in Australia within the last 40 years. The last fluent speaker of Ayak, a language from Alaska, died in 2008. UNESCO estimates that one language dies every 2 weeks. Cornish, a Celtic language, went extinct, but has been revived. Wakashan languages of Canada are critically endangered. Manx, from the Isle of Man, was once extinct, but has been revived. Sanskrit is still spoken as a daily language in some Indian villages. Klalam, a Native American language, had its last fluent speaker pass away in 2014. Miscellaneous language oddities. Esperanto was designed to be an easy-to-learn global language. Ithkil was intentionally designed to be the most complex language. Navajo was used as an unbreakable code during World War II. There's a secret whistling language in Turkey called Kushdili. Sign languages are not universal. Each country has its own. Bilingual people can think differently depending on the language they use. There are over 7,000 languages spoken in the world today. Pangrams are sentences that contain every letter of an alphabet. Some languages have no written form. There are languages spoken only by a few families. There's a language in Mexico, Ayapaneco, that only 2 elderly men speak. Polari was a secret slang used by gay men in Britain in the past. Linguists believe many undiscovered languages still exist. Ancient Egyptian took over 1,000 years to decipher. Some isolated Amazon tribes don't have a word for war. Sumerian is the oldest known written language. Zulu and Xhosa use 3 distinct types of click sounds. Some languages use reduplication to change meaning, like bye-bye. Animals can understand some human languages. New languages are still being invented today, rare and dying languages. Kaikshana, a language from the Amazon, has only one known speaker left. Cajun French, spoken in Louisiana, is an endangered dialect of French. Some indigenous languages in Australia have only been recorded from a few words. There are more than 200 sign languages worldwide. Ethnologue estimates that nearly 40% of languages are endangered. Some languages survive only through written records, like Gothic. The language Kusunda from Nepal is spoken by fewer than 10 people. Ainu, spoken in Japan, has no known relatives in the world. Aramaic, the language spoken by Jesus, is still spoken today by small communities. The language of the Sentinelese people is completely unknown, as they refuse outside contact. Language evolution and history. Shakespeare invented more than 1,700 words still used in English today. The first known written word dates back to about 3,100 BCE in Sumer. The oldest recorded joke is in Sumerian and is about toilet humor. Many European languages borrowed words from Arabic, including algebra and sugar. The word barbarian comes from the Greek word barbaros, meaning nonsense speaker. The Cyrillic alphabet was created by Saints Cyril and Methodius. The word alphabet comes from the first two Greek letters, alpha and beta. French used to be the official language of England for nearly 300 years. Many modern English words come from Norse due to Viking invasions. The Rosetta Stone helped decipher Egyptian hieroglyphs, strange grammar rules and structures. Some languages, like Lojban, were designed to be completely logical. In Finnish, there are over 15 different cases for nouns. Ancient Egyptian had no vowels in its written form. Quechua, the language of the Incas, has no direct translation for goodbye. Verb endings in Navajo change based on shape. Different endings are used for round versus flat objects. Some Amazonian languages lack specific words for colors. The Turkish language has no gendered pronouns. Irish Gaelic uses verb, subject, object, word order, which is rare among languages. In Chinese, the same character can have different meanings depending on pronunciation. There is no distinction between he and she in spoken Mandarin. Numbers and counting systems. The Welsh counting system was originally based on 20s, not 10s. Binary, zeros and ones, is technically a language that computers speak. The Tongan language has separate counting systems for objects and people. Yupik Eskimos use a base 20 counting system. Some indigenous languages use a base 4 or base 6 counting system. The Malagasy language of Madagascar counts in multiples of 5. Numbers in some African languages are based on body parts. Mayan numbers used a combination of dots and bars. French numbers are still partly in base 20, e.g. 80 equals 80 or 4 20s. Babylonians used a base 60 number system, which is why we have 60 seconds in a minute.